Liverpool fans, what is your favourite moment in all your glorious history in Europe? Which was your favourite game?
I think the ultimate one obviously has got to be the first game in Rome in 1977.
Yeah.
That was definitely a highlight. I think the second best highlight to that would be going to Benfica in 1984 after only beating them 1-0 at Anfield and winning in the stadium on like 4-1 in front of 120,000 Partizan Portuguese fans.
Were you there?
I was there. That was a fantastic night.
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic night. And going out on the town afterwards with the Portuguese fans and party until 7:30 the following morning. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
I feel Tommy Smith's goal was the highlight.
He didn't score many, did he?
No, but if ever a Liverpool player needed to score and deserved to score, it was his night.
Yeah.
His testimonial just a few days later. But atmospherically, I think the best game was Saint Etienne.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Outside, it was unbelievable. Thousands of Frenchmen.
Yeah.
Allez, absolutely superb. That was the best night for me, Saint Etienne.
What about you, Paul?
Well, for me, because I'm a little bit younger than these fellas, it'd have to be probably 1984, beating Roma on their own patch on penalties. That for me, because that was really my first European Cup final when I first started watching Liverpool. So that was a really special moment for me. To actually go and beat them on their own patch.
Yeah, some achievement. And in those huge stadiums, I mean, you've all talked about the colossal stadiums, we just don't have that here in this country, 120,000 people. I mean, for us, you guys, what was your best moment?
It has to be 91. For us younger guys anyway, I think Ray can just remember 68. I certainly can't remember 68. But 91, I've got to say, whetted the appetite. First year back in Europe, United go and win the tournament. It was absolutely fantastic. The whole day, weather was crap. What a day.
Yeah.
Well, 1968 was brilliant. I mean, I was there, I was 14, almost 15, took a week off school without the headmaster's permission, and it was unbelievable. It was so passionate, and it was so... it meant so much because Munich was only 10 years prior to that, and Busby was still there, and it was just incredible.
And John?
Well, as I'm a bit of a dinosaur amongst all this lot, I go back to 56, when we beat Bilbao 3-0 at Main Road to go through, having lost 2-0 in Bilbao. That was the highlight for me. Obviously 68 was the crowning thing, but for me that was the one. 19.
That was your favourite game?
Yeah.
Were you there in 68?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Followed them all.
Right.
Yeah.
One went away in 68, yeah?
All of them, yeah.
Nice one.
And yourself?
47 years.
For me, obviously, because they won it. I mean, I was only 10 at the time. I had a big paper round as well. And it was fantastic. I remember running out, I wasn't there because I was only 10, but I remember running out in the Terrace Street where we lived. And I looked up and down the street and it was dead. There wasn't a soul on the street. It was like a quarter of a mile long. And whichever way you looked, it was just completely dead. It was like as though it was a nuclear war. There was nobody about at all. Everybody was glued to the TVs. And I was like excited, ran out the house in the street. And I'll never forget that moment. It was like fantastic.
Yeah, they are moments that stay in the memory, aren't they?
That's your only moment.
These guys.
That's your only moment.
We've got four to choose from,
These guys have got a lot on us. But you have to remember, when we started out in Europe in 56, they were in the second division, waiting for God to waiting for God.
You started in 55.
Waiting for God to arrive, and He arrived, and you haven't looked back since. And Magic Club.
You started in 55 and won it in 68.
Right.
Took you 13 years.
Took you
13 years.
We did
Excuse me,
use our team in the middle of it.
Hang on. No, let me. Okay. You started in 55 and won it in 68. Yeah. We started in 64 and we won it in 77. It took us the same time, but we've won it 4 times. Now you've only won it once.
I mean, how important is European football to us, do you think, as a nation, and British football? I mean, we definitely suffered in the 5 years that we didn't play.
There is another issue you seem to be forgetting. When you were winning all the trophies in Europe, there were no restrictions on foreign players. I'm not talking foreign players, I'm talking British players.
You had the cream.
You couldn't have put a side out for all those years when you won that tournament. You're all Scottish. You couldn't have put a team out. They weren't all English players. You would have struggled to put a side out.
Were they all English in 68? Sorry? Were they all English in 68?
We're not on about that. We're not about that, mate.
Back to you about the 4 times that you said.
4 times you won it where we didn't,
Well, we only did it once.
There were
we had one
restrictions put
highlight,
on
you
us.
had 4.
Unfortunately, somebody passed a comment saying that you lost the team somewhere in the middle.
We did.
both clubs have had two tragic moments in Europe.
You never lost a team. You
No.
lost supporters.
We've had two tragic moments, but you're remembered and renowned for your tragic moments. We're renowned for our football.
Torino or another one. Hang on.
I'm renowned for your trouble as well, and for causing English football to be in a major decline for 5 years. You ask Everton fans whether they remember you for your football. I mean, you could put them out of Europe. I mean, they were due. That was their peak period, and they were due to go.
At the same time, though, mate, I think you may go on about that actually, but at the same time, Heysel happened, and it was proven at the time when Heysel happened there was an absolute multilingual situation there as regards to fans and people. The whole standard. I was there. I was there actually in Heysel. What I could never understand and still never been explained to me to this day is how you can segregate two ends of a ground. One end is completely Juventus fans. This other end is separated by a chicken wire fence. You can't have people fighting on terraces at the end of the day. But at the same time, at the start of that season, Manchester United fans and Chelsea fans were called fighting on a ferry pre-season. So it wasn't just Liverpool fans fighting, everybody was in trouble.
You were the ones who ended up with the catastrophe.
We got it because we were the English club there, and I still say this now, it wouldn't have mattered what English club were there. What happened there was always going to happen because of the type of stadium it was.
These guys,
and on that note, we're going to wrap this one up. We'll be back for more. Guys, how good is this United team compared to, say, the 58, 68, or even our 94 team?
Well, I think it's potentially the best side, and I think in 2 years' time they'll be absolute world beaters. But we're talking during the break about the 94 side, which was an exceptional side. But unfortunately, due to restrictions at the time, never had the opportunity to play in the European Cup as a team.
And it's ironic now, isn't it, that the majority of our team are now English-based when there are no restrictions. And homegrown. But I mean, an awful lot. This team has been really played up, hasn't it? We actually haven't won anything in Europe with this team yet. And yet you'd think from the way the press are speaking, all we have to do is turn up on the pitch and the other team is going to roll over and die, and we've walked off with the European Cup already. And it's just not like that. Any of those 8 teams could win.
Yeah, but I think that's the way the press does things. I mean, I don't believe that. He doesn't believe that. People around this table don't believe that.
None of us
Alex
believe
Ferguson doesn't believe it. I know for a fact the players don't believe it. Let the press write it, and let the Liverpool fans read it and think that's the case. Let the Chelsea fans read it and think it's the case. We know it ain't the case. We know what we have to do to win it.
Porto last year, they won all their preliminaries when they got to United, and we hammered them at Old Trafford. And we went over there and had a holiday. You know, so you're right. Any team could win it. They're all great sides.
Yes.
Don't you think the changing of the formats actually of the European Cup has devalued it slightly? Do you feel that at all? I mean, in fairness, I mean, just taking this season as an example, you know, if you'd have played Kosvici in the first round, you'd have gone through. You play Feyenoord, you beat them home and away, you go through. You play Juventus, you'd be out now.
On away goals.
You'd have been out on away goals. No, I'm just using that as an example because that was your last game.
That's a move towards the European Super League.
Yeah, I think it is. Don't you think it's a devaluing? Isn't it devaluing the European Cup?
It's no longer the Champions Cup.
Excuse me, Dan. It's no longer. Technically, you could.
Yeah, but it's not just the champions that are in it anymore. It's the runners-up. So how can it be the Champions
You
Cup?
could technically been beaten by Newcastle in the final.
I take the point, but please don't for 1 second be kidding into thinking we would have got knocked out by Juventus the way we performed in Turin last week, because it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah, if we'd had to win that game, I think we'd have gone to win it.
I think on reflection you would have liked to have won that game. And
we didn't risk 3 or 4 players. If we'd have had to get a result on last Wednesday, we would have been risking Andy Cole, Nicky Butt, because it would have been important.
And Scholes.
I wasn't too concerned walking out of that stadium last Wednesday night that Juventus was still in the tournament.
You would have to say.
No, I mean, they're not the force that they were a couple of years ago. I mean, that's for sure. But with Liverpool, I mean, can you see Liverpool being the force that they were in the 70s and 80s? I mean, surely not with this team.
Well, certainly not with this team. We're a long way short at the moment.
I mean, you made the semi-finals
we're a long
of the
way
Cup
behind
Winners'
Man
Cup
United
year,
at the moment.
Yeah, but I think to
we're
be
honest
fair,
enough to admit that. We're a long way now.
I think you've always got to look at the Cup Winners' Cup, Mary, and be fair about it and say a lot of the sides that go in there, like so last year, and you know the German representatives last year went in. They lost the cup, Raymond. They went in there because they were halfway down the league. Munich had won the league and cup double. They ended up in it. There's a lot of that goes on, as did Liverpool, because they got beat at Wembley by United. Fair dues. We went in as the runners up, and you can look at it. And there was only really 2 or 3 pedigree sides in it, and it always is in the Cup Winners' Cup. I mean, Shankly and Paisley always maintained that the hardest pot to win was the UEFA Cup.
Yeah, because it's knockout from day one.
It's knockout from day one. Apart from your champions, I mean, these guys will probably, and I'll probably agree with them if they say Blackburn were lucky to win the league the year they won it.
Well, I agree with that.
You know, they were lucky to win it. But no, they went in. No, what I'm saying is they go into the European Cup then as the representatives of this country, as it could have happened anywhere else in Europe. But the teams who finished behind them are possibly a lot stronger than them, didn't quite get enough points on the board, and are in the UEFA Cup. You know, you could be in the UEFA Cup playing the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Roma.
Point taken this season, Ajax, who haven't lost a game in the Dutch league, and Inter Milan, who are top of, the Italian Premier Division, are both still in the UEFA Cup.
That's right. It's funny, we're mentioning names here like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Benfica, Inter Milan, Ajax, Liverpool, no Manchester United. These are great sides in Europe. Sides that win it 2, 3, 4 times. There's a side in England called Nottingham Forest. Won it more times than
us, yes.
Great sides in Europe win it 3 and 4 times.
Well, I think we accept at the moment that this team is not a great side in Europe. We haven't won it yet, but it has. I think what we at United are so excited about is that at the moment we are sitting on a team that has the potential to be a great side. The core of our team is 22 years old. There are 6 or 7 players who are 22 years old who've played together for 6 years already. They have the potential to go on and be world beaters, and I think that's what I find so exciting about watching the team. We watched them grow, man.
I watched them last week. It was absolutely beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb. I was envious of the players.
Where we're talking about Turin or Anfield?
Anfield. Not Turin.
The Turin, we weren't beautiful to watch.
Absolutely superb. You surprised me on how you played, the style you played.
It's interesting you say that, because we were talking about this after the game, and I said I think it was to Ray. I'm interested to analyse this in the pub after the game, and I was saying to Ray, are we that good, or are they just poor?
No, they're good. They're a good side. They're a very good side, very strong.
But Liverpool gave you a big helping hand along the way last Saturday, I feel, anyway. You look at the thing is with Liverpool, the Liverpool side at the moment, particularly the defence. You could not say that one of the defenders is not going to have a nightmare game. You cannot rely on our defence because they're not a quality defence together.
Well, they spend enough money on defenders. Why have they not got it right?
Surely
you say you spend enough money on defenders. Not if you look at our back four that played against Man United, that is not hardly any money's been spent on them.
You've got plenty of dead ones sat on the bench. What about Bab?
Well, Phil Babb was a mistake. I think.
Listen, we could argue.